Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What is boxing without a little bit of drama? What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to talk about some boxing post-fight. I was watching the Showtime card, and it's been good. The fights have been good. The only downside is the last fight, the Dirrell fight with Uzcátegui, ended in a crazy fashion, and I'm gonna kind of give my thoughts down. First of all, because I haven't made a fight with Dirrell and Barthélemy, but I thought the scorecards were way too wide. One of the judges had 117 to 109 in favor of Rances Barthélemy, and they traded knockdowns. Relic was definitely in it, just like the Ricky Burns fight, but he looked a little bit sharper, fresh in the early rounds. A lot of people thought Relic won. I didn't get to see the first couple of rounds, but from where I picked up the 4th or 5th round, it was on the popping, very competitive fight, and 117 to 109 sounds pretty egregious. But I'm kind of pissed off because this fight with Dirrell was heating up and it was getting good, and it just ended in disqualification. So I had the first round very close, but I gave the first 2 rounds to Uzcátegui, and I told you guys I was doing my round by round tweeting. I hadn't really remembered seeing much from José Uzcátegui, but then after they said on the telecast, I did see him. He fought Julian Jackson's son Julius, and I believe he knocked him out, and I seen that fight. So this dude Uzcátegui, he could scrap, make no mistake about it. I guess he resides in Mexico now, originally from Venezuela, heavy amateur background. This was a good fight, man, up until the end. And I said at the time, don't really remember seeing José Uzcátegui, but he looks very dangerous, should be a good scrap. And I said this after round 1, and then later on the telecast, they reminded me that I actually had seen this guy before. And I thought Uzcátegui started off very strong. Round 3, intense. Dirrell crisp jab, but Uzcátegui pouring on a lot of pressure, and he was even doing some showmanship stuff towards the end of the round. Like, he was smiling. He looked like he was having fun in there. Like, I know I'm getting to you, and I'm putting an uncomfortable pressure. Round 2, I think it was round 2, Dirrell, it looked like, they said it was a slip, but it looked like he got hurt in the fight. They were talking later in the telecast about it being a 10-8 round. I don't know. Since it was ruled a slip, I wouldn't have said it was a 10-8 round. But I had Uzcátegui winning those first 2 rounds easily, right? First round was a little bit more of a filler round, but definitely round 2. Round 3 was intense, a lot of pressure. The confidence was definitely on Uzcátegui's side in those first 3 rounds. And round 4, I said very good round 4 for Andre Dirrell. Great usage of the jab, slowing down the tempo and the pressure of Uzcátegui. This is very impressive about Andre Dirrell because after a shaky 3 rounds, opening rounds, he started to control the distance, show his ability in ring generalship. And I said round 5, Andre Dirrell now getting into a rhythm. Everything set up from the jab. Jab, 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 doubling, jabbing to the body and controlling distance. This was great stuff. Beautiful boxing 101. Jab, jab, jab. And when I watched like Golovkin-Jacobs, I had Jacobs winning, but Golovkin gave Jacobs hell with the jab. Like, he was caught. Jacobs had no answer for the jab, right? Which made it a very fun and competitive fight. I covered the fight live. The jab is a forgotten tool in the sport of boxing, and if used properly, it can turn your whole life around because, like I said, those first 3 rounds, Uzcátegui was growing in confidence, and Dirrell needed something. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he could maybe even get stopped in this fight. Uzcátegui is, again, a guy with the amateur pedigree. He has knockout power. I think he has like a over 80% knockout ratio. He's pretty tall. He's 6'2". You know what I mean? Dirrell's about that too. So, I mean, he's a full-fledged super middleweight, and the fight was heating up, and guys like that are always dangerous because he's not this Uzcátegui didn't look like, I haven't seen all of his fights, but just from watching that, I can tell he's not just a mindless brawler, like, you know what I mean, like a Ruslan Provodnikov type, Brandon Rios type. No shade to them, it's just he fights different, and I see him doing little feints and like little switching. Like, when have you ever seen Brandon Rios switch to southpaw? You know what I'm saying? So he had different shades and dimensions to his fight game. And I said round 2 ain't no 10-8 round. I didn't have it a 10-8 round. But I was very impressed with Andre Dirrell, how he changed the tempo from those first 2-3 rounds. Dirrell was composed, he had stupid reflex, and his jab was just phenomenal, just pop, pop. And I think in those mid rounds, 4, 5, 6, that's what really started changing the tempo, and the jab set up the counter. So he started countering, and I was really impressed with Dirrell, to be honest. I said great consecutive body work by Dirrell in round 8. It can help him if the fight goes 12. Obviously, I didn't know it would not go 12 because of a disqualification. So these are round by round live tweets. You can see the times and whatnot and match them up with the telecast if you want. But Dirrell, the fight was going his way. He was controlling the pace. The ebb and flow had shifted from those 3 opening rounds. And I just like what he was doing with the jab. Very crisp. It set up other things. And I said Dirrell was pulling away since round 5. Round 5 was, to me, about when I started seeing Dirrell pull away. And it was all set up with the jab. That allowed him to get off at the counter. Thing I liked about fights like this, I love fights like this because it's a high-speed chess match. Even though Uzcátegui, the tempo wasn't going his way, he's still very dangerous. It's just like Joshua Klitschko. I thought the fight was going Klitschko's way after the knockdown. After Joshua knocked down Klitschko, he burned himself out. He seemed arm weary, and Klitschko started taking over. Then the next round, Klitschko knocks him down. Then the next round, Klitschko started to show his separation and his skill level, and Joshua needed a breather or whatever. But Joshua was still dangerous because he was able to, in the 11th round, pull the trigger and create a stoppage. So fighters like that who have skill and also power, and the power can show up late, they're still dangerous. Andre Dirrell was barely, listen to me, he was barely missing some shots. Some of those shots were just barely grazing and whizzing by him. So very tight defense. And you have to understand boxing to know, or be a fighter yourself to know what I'm talking about. But how hard it is to pull counter or counter with the uppercut, or just barely have a guy who has long arms and he's barely missing those punches on the ropes. But Dirrell, credit to him, he looked very composed and calm, and some of those shots were barely missing. And if he didn't have as tight of a defense, then he would have been in trouble, right? Because Uzcátegui, again, is dangerous. I've seen him doing different things to vary his attack. Like at one of the late rounds, 7 or 8 or whatnot, he tripled up or quadrupled up on his jab, like when Dirrell was in the corner. I don't think Dirrell was expecting that. So I love fighters that attempt to do that. But then everything got fucked up, and Dirrell got cold cocked and hit with a flush shot by a power puncher after the bell. The referee warned. He said 5 seconds, and then he's like, break. And then clearly after the bell, Uzcátegui clocked him. And he also did this, I didn't mention that in my commentary earlier, but he hit Dirrell after the bell and got warned earlier in one of those early rounds. So the fight was disqualified because he did it again. And Dirrell hit the canvas, and you know, I mean, he was hurt. I mean, he's in there with the puncher, and when you hear the bell and stuff, you might relax and tense up and stuff like that. It was ugly. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to see stuff like that, because it was clearly. See, you think you're safe right here. And Dirrell was hitting him with counters too. You know what I'm saying? See how he was hitting him with the counter. Bell, look. And then you hit him with another flush shot. You know what I mean? That's not cool. You know what I mean? That's not copacetic. You can't do somebody like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's a kind of a testament to Andre Dirrell. Shout out to Showtime Boxing, though, getting it done with boxing. But I think it's a testament to Andre Dirrell. He's so crafty, he's so squirrely that you might get frustrated and you're just looking to land. You know what I'm saying? Because his defense was in there, like I said earlier. But I like the level of composure. It's just ugly that I think this was an eliminator fight, and it's ugly that it had to end in this type of fashion where someone gets disqualified. I would have liked to see it land in or end in a more of a traditional fight, but I thought Dirrell was winning the fight at the point of the stoppage. He was defensively responsible, and he really set everything up by pulling away with the jab, letting some combinations go, countering, pot shotting, and Uzcátegui, I think, was growing kind of frustrated. He did ramp up the aggression. I think it was in round 7, and it's just unfortunate that had to end like this, because this was a good fight, and I didn't want it to end in a non-traditional way. If Uzcátegui were to get the knockout, let's see him get it, you know what I mean, on an even playing field, not like when the guy's relaxed thinking the round's over and then you clock him. That, you know what I mean, you can't do that. I think, what fight was I watching? I think it was Holly Holm fighting the UFC, and her opponent, the randomie kept hitting her after the bell and stuff, and knocked her out when she was after. You can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're better than someone, then you're better than them. And I don't care, even if the guy, Paulie, said something like, oh, he doesn't speak English. It doesn't matter if you speak English or not. You can still understand diction, and you can understand linguistics. And if a ref, you know, there's only 3 people in the ring, 2 fighters and the ref. And you hear the ref saying, obviously it's going to be hard with noise, crowd noise and stuff, but you know you have to be listening for the ref or whatever. And the ref was like, 5 seconds, break, or whatever, and you still hit him. You know what I mean? You can't just be so much in the mode of kill mode or whatever that you get yourself disqualified, because this was a fight where he might have been able to win. He clearly has power, you know what I'm saying? So maybe if he would have amped up the aggression, both fighters being tired, maybe he could have caught Dirrell fair and square. But to me, I had Dirrell winning. I had him pulling away. And shout out to Showtime. Very good card. The Rancis card, I got to watch the first 3 rounds, but I think I had Relic winning from what I did see. That's why I said I think. And either way, the scorecards were retarded. I mean, that didn't even make sense. So hope Dirrell bounces back. He did go through this same type of situation with Arthur Abram back in the Super 6 days, and he got hit after the bell, and he actually had like bad, I don't know, he had like aneurysms or something. Like he had like medical health problems from that. So I'm glad to see him standing, because I already made this video. I didn't know. I'm glad to see he's up and communicating and stuff like that. So I hope he recovers, and he should automatically advance to James DeGale rematch, which this was an eliminator for that IBF super. Oh, it says he's on winning the IBF super middleweight interim world title. Yeah, so I think he automatically advances. Let me know what you guys think of the Showtime card. Lots of boxing. Shout out to Tank Davis. Shout out to Andre Dirrell. Brilliant performance before the mishap. The Rancis one, I gotta watch it again, the beginning rounds, to see who I had winning. But Karel Relic, he's been playing spoiler to a lot of people. All I know is the scorecards from what I've seen were outrageous. Let me know what you guys think. More boxing coming. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.